Good morning, good afternoon, West Ham fans. I hope you're all well. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. Going to do my usual. As always, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed just recently. We've seen a nice little surge in numbers. And the most important thing, as I'm sure you've seen me banging on about before, please don't forget, drop a like on the video. That really, really helps us. It does tell YouTube to share the video around. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much. Okay, so Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he has finally signed, from what I've been told. I don't know whether it might be released by the time that you watch this video, but everybody's saying it's all done now. Medicals have been passed, job done. The media team are doing their work. It's expected to be announced, if not already by the time you watch this video, at some point today. So that's done a lot. I must admit, I'm starting to get a little bit bored with that deal. Not the player, love the player, but that's dragged, isn't it? And it's really dragged on. It's kind of made it a little bit of an anticlimax when you consider all the other players that have come in before. You know, we got that sort of Todibo deal done. But it's a really important signing. You can't kind of understate that. It's to solve that right back position it's massive. And also he can play right centre back as well. So we've got another flexible player to add to this squad. So welcome, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Very, very good to have you on board, mate. I hope you got your 7 million off of Man United as well. I hope you did. I hope you fleeced them. So yes, we've got our new player, and he'll be arriving in his gold-plated Bugatti. No doubt. Fantastic though. That really does add. It fills another gap, fills another void that we had. No criticism of Soufal. He was just a limited player. He's 32. We had to improve in that area if we wanted to move on and play this style that Lopetegui wants to play. So look, it's great news. It's great news that we got it done. Once Tim does get a player in his sights, he does 9 times out of 10. He does seem to get the deal done, doesn't he? So very, very good. WHUFC. I'm not going to sort of ponder and moan about this too much because there's no point. There's no point. You all know how I feel about the academy. You all know that I wanted to see Potts, Alford and Urfi around the squad. Well, with the players that we're signing, you know, because we've also got Soler, who I spoke about as well. Looks like he's going to be coming in. They're stepping up the bid for Soler as well. That's another central midfielder in the 8. I just think it's quite obvious that these boys ain't going to get any time now. Now, the loan move for WHUFC is a good one. He's gone to Bristol City. Can't think of the chap's name that manages them, but he was involved in the West Ham Youth Academy for about 4 years. So he will know WHUFC. He will know of WHUFC. They play a good attacking flair game. Very combative as well. So it's going to be a good season for him because he's going to go and play every minute of every game, I assume, which is really important for these lads, for them to continue their development. In fact, personally, I'd rather they did that, went out and played football for a year like Potts did last season, as opposed to sit on our bench. Because, yeah, you can say it's going to be good for them to sit around the first team squad, train with them and learn off of these big stars, but nothing replaces actual minutes on a pitch. You know, you can't learn by watching. Not really. Not to that degree. My only concern is, moving forwards, is historically when we do kind of loan players out, that's kind of it. They get forgotten about. Maybe this is different. Maybe there is a vision. Maybe we will see someone like Potts go out this time to a championship club. We'll see Urfi go out. We'll definitely see Alford go out if he hasn't gone already. And hopefully they'll get some reward. Hopefully at some point, 1, 2, or even better, all 3 of them we'll see in the future. It's just the stark reality of what we're looking at when we see such a massive rebuild like this, and we see all these senior players coming in, which we're all overexcited about. I am. I'm really excited about it. But there is, you know, the victims are going to be in the academy. You know, Potts deserves a chance, I think, but I'm not too sure that he's going to get one this year. Not with the players that we've got and the players that we are continually linked with. So it's exciting on one hand, but it's sad on the other. Sad for those boys and sad for us. Like I've said before, there is nothing better than seeing your players come through your academy and make it in your first team. You know, I thought that we would start to see something, at least a glimmer of that this season with Lopetegui. You know, he's got a history, he's got a reputation of working with youth players as well. So, look, listen, you don't know. You know, we don't know too much about what's going on. I think that the most important thing for Lopetegui, he's got a 2-year contract, is to stabilise West Ham, get out the deadwood, build a team and a structure that are capable of delivering the football that he wants us to play. And then maybe he can focus on bedding in youth players and stuff like that. So it's probably a phased approach, a phased program. I do get it. It's just, yeah, I want it all. I did want to see some youth players coming in as well. So, but no, look, it looks like George Murphy's going out on loan, and it is a good loan as well. So congratulations, George, and good luck. Best of luck for you, mate. I hope it goes well. The other one is Samu Omaridian, who we were linked with ages ago. You know, the Atletico Madrid player, the striker. Bit of a complete striker, a bit of a beast by all accounts. He can do the lot. He's a big, powerful lad. He's fast. You know, similar sort of Malta Duran. Very, very mobile, very good player. Was supposed to be going to Chelsea. The deal fell through. And, yeah, it's looking like, well, I'm not saying that we're going to be going in for him, but we know that we are after another striker. Duran is definitely on the back burner as well. I do think that that's someone that we will approach. But now that on Meridian, that's presented itself, I'm not too sure. There are other clubs that are sniffing around him as well. You've got the likes of Bournemouth, who have just lost or losing Dominic Solanke, their star striker, to Spurs. So there's going to be space there for him to go and play first team football, because that's the other thing for players like Duran and Omaridian. They're going to want to come in and play. They're not going to want to come in and play backup. So that could be why the deal fell through at Chelsea. They're saying it was something to do with naming rights, but I don't buy it. I just think these players with this much talent, they're quite impatient. They're very ambitious, and they want to come in and they want to play. They want to be the main man. It's the same for Duran, you know. And I respect it, to be honest. Who wants to sort of sit on the bench for sort of 2-3 years while waiting for your turn? I'd rather go and play. You know, if that was me and I had that talent, I'd be exactly the same. I'd be no different at all. So yes, it is exciting. I'm glad we've got Wan-Bissaka. I'm looking forward very much to the start of the season. I'm glad pre-season is done, because the real business starts now. Lopetegui's comments did kind of allude to the fact that obviously he could be playing his cards close to his chest, but he did allude to the fact that a lot of the new players that have come in are not ready yet, which means that we could be seeing some of the old faces when we face Villa. So we could be seeing a James Ward-Prowse and a Souček, possibly. And I'm going to do my best to not have a tantrum if Jed would play in midfield and we get beat off the park. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. But I don't think that's going to happen. I can't see it. It would just frustrate me. If you fast forward to the weekend and you play Souček and James Ward-Prowse in central midfield, and we lose the midfield battle and we lose the game as a result of it, it would just frustrate me, because it would not be a surprise, because we've seen it all last season and we've seen it in pre-season. It doesn't work. They don't work together. You know, they're awful. But I'm just hoping and praying that Lopetegui doesn't do that. I'll take either or. You know, if he's got to play one of them, fine. And we was having this debate the other day about James Ward-Prowse and Souček. And do you know something? I think if it was me and I had to pick out of the two to play in a team, I probably would be picking Souček, because I do think James Ward-Prowse is a better player technically, but he's a bit of a ghost on the pitch, in my opinion. When there isn't a set piece, you don't really see him. I think Jay mentioned it on his show that he did. You know, you kind of see him do that thing where he knocks the ball forward and then runs after it, and he kind of shadows the play. He doesn't really. He never really sort of presents himself in an area to receive the ball. There isn't much intelligent movement there from James Ward-Prowse. It covers a lot of ground, whereas Souček is at least a bit of a disruptive influence. He can't kick a football unless it's in the 18-yard box. This is a bloke who can't pass 5 yards but can rocket a volley into the top right-hand corner. It doesn't make any sense, but he does know where the goal is. And he does at least offer something in midfield, a presence in midfield, which I don't believe that James Ward-Prowse does. So if one of those two is going to start, my prediction is it's going to be Thomas Souček. Let me know what your thoughts are. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course, he won't need to bed in. He'll be straight in. I reckon he'll be straight in. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Todibo, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Players going out. X has confirmed that this isn't definite, but it's confirmed that we would consider offers for Mavropanos and Aguirre. So we've got a bit of a ruthless setup now, you know, including Tim. Tim brought Mavropanos in, And you know what? They've had a look at him, and he's gone. If it ain't going to work, it ain't going to work. We get rid of him. I respect it. There's no messing around now. No messing around. So I do like that. This is a new look West Ham. Look, the only thing is with that sort of ruthless streak and that ruthless nature, when you remove sentiment completely, that's when you get the likes of the youth academy suffering and stuff like that. I think we're gonna have to hope that somebody of those three players is a bit of a generational talent, so they almost force their way in and force their way through. Because I'm never going to give up hope that we're going to see a West Ham player, a West Ham academy player in the middle of that park pulling the strings. It's what I want to see. You know, it really is. Finally, I watched a video on Save Our Concessions by Nicky Hawkins. It was a wonderful video. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to put a link to it in the description of this. So for those of you that are not sort of up to date and up to speed on what this movement is all about, it's you've got to split it in two. People keep on saying to me, you've got to give Sullivan credit. You've got to give Sullivan credit now. He's opened up his checkbook. No. You can split it in two. What we've done on the pitch is or with player procurement is fantastic, absolutely. But that's not Sullivan, and Sullivan isn't spending his own money. People, he's spending club money. What Sullivan has done in the past is spent club money very, very badly. Well, what he's done now is he's appointed someone that can make best use of the club money that we generate, because he doesn't put his own hand in his pocket. He ain't going out buying players. This is club money. But now what he has done, which you have to give him credit for, is he's handed the reins over to Tim Steidten in terms of player recruitment, which means that our money will be far better spent and we'll see a better team on the pitch as a result. But you've got to separate the two, because when you look at what they've done with concessions, and I've done a video on this, so I'm not going to go on about it too much. It's disgusting. It's despicable. It is. They're alienating the legacy fan. They're targeting older fans and younger fans. It's vile what they've done. And there is a real professional movement in play at the moment to organise protests and to organise other bits and pieces as well. And like I said, you've got to separate the two. It isn't going to be protesting against the team. The team will always be fully supported on the pitch. Of course they will. But it's very, very difficult now. And you've got to give the people that are organising this for the good of West Ham, for the good of the West Ham fan, all the credit in the world. Because I'm not going to get political, by the way, but with recent news, with the way the new Prime Minister has basically made it almost illegal to speak your mind, you know, and organise a protest. Because if you organise a protest, doesn't matter how well you organise it, if that protest escalates into fights or then it becomes a riot. The protest becomes a riot. And then what happens is you organised a riot and then you're liable. Well, these people are not deterred. They're going to carry on doing that. You know, they're not going to take away our freedom of speech on that front. We're gonna, you know, it kind of really plays into Sullivan and Brady's hands, because you know that all they'll be waiting for at any protest is foul behaviour, is bad behaviour, so that they can literally use the police now, which they'll be able to, use the authorities, and in the media, they'll just peddle it as mindless West Ham fans. The people that are organising this really know what they're doing. They're incredibly professional. It is a machine, and they're going to get their point across. And it isn't going to be... It'll probably have to run all season, because what's happened this year has happened. This is more probably, I assume, looking towards next season, so that there is a correction. There is a correction. But watch Nicky Hawkins' video. Like I said, it really is eye-opening, and it's a brilliant video, really well delivered. You talk about censorship. He goes on in the latter part of his video to say that he had his camera gear removed from him when he was approaching the stadium. They said, "Who are you filming for? Is it the media? What's it for?" He had a flyer on him that had been handed to him, Save Our Concessions, and they said, "No, you're going to have to leave your cameras here." He also got tackled when he went into the club shop where he was looking at shirts to buy for his son. So we know already it is very much like that. You know, you've got the little dictator in a Russian hat sitting in there that doesn't allow any banners to be brought in to the stadium. Well, what they can't do, they can't control what happens in the away ends. So that's when you're more likely to see activity, because they are going to be worried. They are going to be scared, because the last thing they want is TV coverage of this type of thing. This is why they won't allow flags and everything into the stadium. So look, it's something that needs to happen. The club have been absolutely despicable. So people saying to me, "You've got to give Sullivan credit," my answer to that is not on your Nelly. No, not a chance. He's done well in footballing terms, on the pitch, with the players, giving the reins to Tim, but he's still a little shitbag in my eyes, and he always will be. So, yeah, unless they reverse all this, I take it back and they issue a public apology for what they've done. Then maybe I'll start to go a little bit softer on him. But until then, no, not a chance. Right, that's it from me. That's enough of a ramble. I'll speak to you all soon. Don't forget, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Come on, you irons. In a world where safety matters more than ever, Fore Security Solutions is here to protect what you value most. Our expert team work tirelessly to tailor solutions just for you. So join the countless businesses and homes across London who trust Fore Security. We don't just secure spaces, we provide peace of mind. Take the first step towards a safer tomorrow and contact us today, and let's build your security solution together. At Fore Security Solutions, your safety is our priority.